Okay, I hope everyone can hear me. If this is really bad quality, you're just gonna have to let me know because, as I tried to explain before, I am waiting on better broadband. Normally Rob would be doing this, but Rob's not available, so I'm trying to step in on like my shoddy connection that I have now. So anyway, yeah, welcome to this round six. Did I say or round seven? Anyway, it's Monza combined lobby TTFL. Thank you, Curly and Marshall, for the follows straight away, even though I have done nothing to deserve follows. So, before we start, we're going to have a little look at the current standings. I know I'm still on starting soon, Hobo. Give me a chance. Um, yeah, so after. Are these the current ones? I think these are the current ones. These are the latest ones. So far in Tier 1, we've got Shonicus leading the way. He's been pretty consistent so far. He's putting good showings at every race. Rapid, 20 points behind him, and Sesvin equal to him in second actually. Rapid taking it on race wins so far. Winning the race, Hobo says. Elder 1 point behind in fourth. Then we've got a bit of a drop down to DXT Anthony down in fifth. Followed by Frenzy in sixth. Myself in seventh with my one win for the season that I got in round one, but I'll just keep dropping. As most of you know, I've stopped racing now, at least until the next game. Hobo's still behind me, even though I don't race anymore, in 8th. Scotty ninth, Josh 10th, Mrs. Colin 11th, Simseku 12th, King Panda 13th, Skarendi 14th, who for some reason has only shown up to one race, Steel Sneezing 15th, and Speedy bringing up the rear as usual down in 16th. So, on to the constructor standings. For Tier 1, we have McLaren leading the way. I'm going to read Tier 2. Give me a chance. Look, I've got a plan. This is what I was taking so long setting up. So, McLaren leading the way. Absolutely dominant so far. Well clearing 133 points. Even though they've got 0 wins between them, apparently. Consistency's been key. Ferrari in second, tying with Mercedes. But again, ahead on the 2 wins as opposed to 1. Aston 1 point down in fourth. Alpine a little bit behind, not too far out of the game, down in fifth. Haas in sixth. Red Bull seventh. Alpha Tauri in eighth, and then Alfa Romeo and Williams yet to score. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think those seats are filled, so that would explain why they have 0 points. Moving on to Tier 2. We've got Hyder leading the way on 77 points, with Verstappen 2 points behind. In third, we've got Zodak, followed by Dan Roush, only half a point behind. Cayley in fifth, I Marshall in sixth, Con seventh, with Spicer 1 behind in eighth, Mosh in ninth, tied with HKM. Thanks, Rob. That's a nice confidence boost. HKM tied with him in 10th, Viper 11th, Scarito 12th, tied with Hepburn, Hepburn 13th, Vader 14th, Heffy 15th, Ari 16th, Nakal, who has since been banned, in 17th, MR Camu in 18th, Urban Fox 19th, and Matty G, who's not done a race in 20th, although I now believe DXT Matty has taken a spot, so he will appear on the standings next week. Team standings for Tier 2. Red Bull are currently leading the way, followed by McLaren, Ferrari, Williams in 4th, Haas 5th, Alfa Romeo 6th, Alfa Tauri 7th, Aston Martin 8th, Mercedes 9th, and Alpine 10th. So, we'll go down to Monza and see what's happening on track, even though I've got none of my information up because I was not prepared. I'll get us some bits and bobs up to look at and see who's doing what. Who have we got out on track? I apologise if I've missed anyone so far. Who's the first on a lap? Hepburn. It's 127.6 for Hepburn. Gilpins is up. Pretty solid time. That should be good enough to see him through Q1, I would have thought. Who's crossing next? That Cons. Yeah, Cons comes across the line. You'll sit at 120.9. Knocks 7/10 off straight away. Can I reinvite Simseku? Yes, I can. Bear with me a second. Is the stream okay quality? It's not lagging or anything? Because obviously that was my issue the other day when I tried to do it. I'm hoping that having not got any sort of chats going on, it's made it a little bit easier. Where is Simseku? Have I gone past him and just missed it? Stream looks smooth. Okay, good. Obviously, if you start getting issues, just let me know, and I'll have to reassess. Why can't I find Simseku? Simseku. Or has he got? Is his name not Simseku? I have no idea. Oh my god, I don't know which is which. Right, for now, I'll go back to it. I'll message Simseku and I'll get him to let me know his actual name. Simseku. Sorry, right. So Mrs. Call went second, less than a tenth of cons. King 5 Panda got a lap in, put himself fourth, who's now been knocked down to fifth after Josh crosses with a 121.4. Zodak 22.4. Emor Camus got seventh with 22.9. Scarito 23.1. Speedy. Come on, Speedy. 42.6. Okay, right, okay. 1 second. At least this is Q1 where it's not. I'm not missing anything massively important at least. Right, let's go get Simseku invited again. Oh, that one, okay. I'll send Elder another one while I'm here. Boop. Speedy goes quickest on his second attempt, I believe that was. So he's on slightly used tyres. It's pretty good going, to be fair, on lap old tyres. Kaylee's put in a lap, 22.3. Have I missed anyone else? I don't think I've missed anyone else. Marshall starting a lap. Yeah, let's go with Marshall for a lap. It's right on board. See how neat you can get round here. Probably one of the most simple tracks on the calendar, and yet one of the hardest to absolutely nail. I found anyway. Spinotto puts in a lap, goes 22.3 to put himself 8th. Mercedes boys running 7th and 8th at the moment. Got a little bit of traffic up ahead, hopefully they don't get in his way. No, gets out of the way nicely in the Williams. Aston might just be far enough away. He might even get a distant tow if he's lucky. We'll see as he approaches Ascari, I believe this is. See if he can nail this. That's pretty tight, eh? Watch this curve on the inside, which he does. Does it nicely. It's going to be a little bit too far back from that Aston to get a tow. We'll see. Only Parabolica to try and negotiate now. Needs to hold it nice and smooth. Get on power early. Looks to be pretty planted. He's going to have a run up to the line. See what he's going to set. It's going to be fairly quick, I imagine. Yeah, 121.0. Puts himself up into 4th. The temporary Red Bull teammates going well in 3rd and 4th. Who's next? I think there. Hobo's on an out lap. We'll keep an eye on Hobo. Now we'll see either an expert lap or a terrible lap, because Hobo doesn't do alright laps. Pretty tidy through 1 and 2. This is where my amateur commentary starts to show, because I've run out of things to say immediately. I get all my lines out of the way within 5 minutes, and then I have nothing left to say, so I'm just making stuff up on the spot as I go. Hobo touching the curves, but doesn't seem to unsettle it at all, really, actually. Speedy's retired. He's pretty confident he's going to get through, and to be fair, I would agree with him, having set the time that he has. Hobo through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2, looking pretty good. Opens DRS on the run down to Ascari. Shouldn't get anyone in his way on his lap. I think that's Marshall in front, who we followed before. But he's far enough ahead not to bother him. Little bit wide midway through. Ascari. Oh, and invalidates on the exit. Oh, unlucky. It's so easy to do. I've just noticed. I don't think I have any game sound on, do I? I've just noticed I've never put it on. There's a game sound now. Was there no games? No one told me there was no game sound the whole time. Well, if you couldn't hear the cars before, you should be able to hear them now. So that's a nice bonus. Jesus Christ. Oh dear. Oh, thank you, Josh, for the follow as well, by the way. Game sound is on now on a decent level. Okay. I muted everything for when I started it because I didn't want to not be heard while I was trying to go through the standings, and then I just completely forgot to put it back on. The silence won't seem quite so loud now when I run out of things to say. Who's Scarito boxes? I think you could do with improving. I don't think. Well, he's come up with start last. He's not guaranteed to be last after everyone's gone, but I think he does need to improve. Friends is just starting his lap. Horgo's going again. He's very low on energy though. Got a quick glimpse at his wheel. Looked to be low on energy. Got a better run for Ascari this time. He should be able to hold it tighter on exit, which he does. But this is where it's going to start to hit him on the run down to Parabolica. It's going to hit his top end speed. If he's put a good lap in, I would think he should still be fairly comfortable. I would think he's going to be sort of, I don't know, maybe the 9th mark, 10th mark. Could be wrong. Goes 11th. I was close. I was very close. Will they be safe? Not convinced. Rapid, Friends, well, Frenzy will do a lap because he's made to do a lap, but it won't be a fast lap because Frenzy likes starting at the back. But Rapid and Shonicas I'm expecting to move up. Them two I would think are going to be challenging for the quickest time so far. Matty I haven't seen race for God, since before Christmas I would have thought, quite a way before Christmas, so although I know he is fairly quick on his day, I don't know if he's out of practice or whatever. Rapid is coming round to end his lap. I didn't catch him on his, I missed that. We'll see now whether he makes a liar of it or whether my prediction was true. He's going to set a 119.999. I was correct. Goes almost a full second clear of anyone else. Basically pushes everyone else down. Frenzy is currently out of qualifying. I wouldn't expect him to go again, to be honest. Scarito's in a decent amount of danger. Shonicus on the run down to Parabolica now. I'm expecting him to go at the very least second. Granted, his current run of form so far, Mr. Consistent. So we'll find out. And across the line with a 120.927. Literally just edges into second. Less than a tenth ahead of Speedy and Cons. In fact, less than a tenth ahead of Miss Call as well. So second's fifth, covered by less than a tenth for second, and then just over that, back to Scott and Marshall. Very close so far. It's looking good for a race if this is what it's going to be like. Which is good because playing the game down on me. I will turn the game down a touch. Is that better? Yeah, no? I think it depends on the camera. Like, if I run on board, that's loud. Like, can you hear me over the onboard sound? Is that any good? When you get a second. Let's ride with Matty. It's been a while since I've seen Matty do a lap. See if we can get out of Q1. It's a little bit deep into one. It's very loud on board. Okay. I can knock it down some more. It doesn't need to be that loud, to be fair. I mean, no one thought to tell me that I didn't have any game sound originally. I've sort of turned it down quite a bit now, so I'll ride on board again. Is that more manageable now? Is this better or not? Better, worse, okay. Matt is looking a little bit scruffy so far. But then again, the scruffy laps can be quick ones. He's coming round to Camo. Oh, Camo's binned it. Oh, and he's right on the racing line. I think he's hit the wall on exit of Lesmo 2. So he won't be taking any further part in qualifying, I imagine. He's currently sat 15th, but it could well get knocked down. That's better, okay. So Matty, run down to the final turn. Is he going to be able to get out of Q1 on his return? It is very close, to be fair. A lot closer than I thought it would be, in all honesty. Apart from Rapid. It's going to be 122.0. Knocks himself up into 12th. He should be... Well, I'm saying he should be safe. He's not that safe. The next three drivers behind him, only 3/10 in it. And that's he's quite easily picked up around Monza. One back corner can lose you half a second. Zodak, I'm assuming, yeah, these must be outlaps. Hobo and Zodak on outlaps. Scarito, oh, he's just finished that. Doesn't improve enough though. Only puts himself to 15th. Oh, and a slide through turn 1. Who else is still going? Spinotto is invalidated. Matty we've just seen. Zodak, yeah, starting his lap. Hobo is just ahead of him. Started his lap. Curly coming down to the final corner. Is he out of energy? Oh no, he's on an outlap. Well, why does it not tell you they're on outlaps? Why does it take it away before they've even got to the line? It's so confusing trying to figure out what's going on. So I think the car to follow, Matty will be coming in, I imagine. Spinotto is going to be out of energy anyway, so I can't see him improving on his next effort. So I think the one to steer with is Hobo for now. Or is it no, Scarito, sorry. No, he's backed out, so Hobo, yeah. Is he going to be safe anyway? I don't think he's comfortably safe. He is okay at the minute, but Curly's now down to 16th and in danger of being knocked out in Q1. I didn't catch the split times because I wasn't very observant, so I don't know whether he's up or not. Into the line, he's got a 122.2 to improve upon. He's going to improve upon that significantly. 120.4 goes P2. This is what I'm saying. He's either nowhere or he's up at the top. Zodak puts in a very respectable time, 121.1 to go 9th. Scarito, I think, is going to go for a lap now. It's low on energy though. Just had a quick look at his wheel to see what energy levels he got. I'm trying to avoid having the telemetry up. I mean, if anyone is watching, do you prefer telemetry on or off? It doesn't really matter to me. I can make it work either way. Just, yeah, I don't mind. I can leave it on if that's easier for information wise. I mean, going forward, I'm hoping to have some more overlays and stuff involved. It would just kind of rush today. I just wanted to get like the essentials on and just make it watchable. I might leave the telemetry on for qualifying just so we can see what sort of energy people have got, but I'll probably turn it off for the race when I'm looking more at battles than actual sort of like fuel and energy and what people are doing individually. Oh, Scarito! Oh, how was he not retired? Lucky he went in sideways into that. So, yeah, I don't even think he's come away with any damage, you know. Oh, he's got disqualified though. Oh, I don't know. Do you still go through after a disqualification? No, you don't. It's 8. Oh. This game's got a serious problem with that. You see, like, your options are you either sit there and let other people pass or you drive into someone. There's no, like, there's no halfway house with it. Curly, as a result, is going to get through by default. It's his lucky day. Scarito's disqualification is his gain. I think will he be the last one? No, Spinotto, who's been off on the exit of a scar. He's going to be the last one to finish us out of round out Q1 even. So as it stands, the drivers we'll be losing are, is it Mr. Camu? Is it MRK Amu? Is it MR Camu? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Frenzy will be going out, as I fully expected him to, and Scarito's, he pulls the short straw on this occasion and drops down due to a disqualification. Didn't do anything wrong. I mean, yeah, he had an incident, but he did the right thing, didn't get in anyone's way, and unfortunately this game gives you all about 5 seconds before it decides, no, you're in the way, and kicks you out. This is the point where I could do with some more. Is there any more information I can throw at this? I might go looking for extra bits of information to throw on. But anyway, Rapid setting the early pace, 119.999. That's a very strong start. Hobo, but he's starting to show some like. Oh, you ran hards initially. I didn't even pick that up. I missed everything in that. Hobo's starting to bring over his RPR GP2 pace a little bit, which is what I want to see. Some more consistency. Shawnicus, I'm expecting to pick it up a bit, to be honest. I thought it'd be a lot closer to Rapid. Josh gets through on mediums again. I missed that. Me being not very observant. I think everyone else on soft. Yeah, everyone else on soft. So there'll be some drivers in there I think I'll be looking to improve. Others have started off quite strong, but again, it's a bit of a highway to walk this track. You're either on it or you run slightly offline, you touch the wrong curb, and because it's such high speed, you're in a wall and that's it. Game over. Right, let's get everything up in advance this time. Let's have. I don't want that on. It takes too much of the screen up. I don't like having that on. So telemetry on. We'll have lap data on, and I'll just have to keep an eye on the tyres every now and again and see who's done what. I think that's the best way of doing it. I'm so wary of like the sheer amount of information you can have on. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I did have to make a save. Yeah, I'm amazing, and that's the luckiest / best save I will ever do on a racing game, ever. So Hepburn's going to be the first out again. I think he was the first lap in Q1 if I'm not mistaken. And then we've got the almighty Train following out shortly behind, but he's got a lovely gap to himself. This is giving me vibes. Was it 2019 when we had the silly train at Monza and everyone failed to get to the line? I think it was 2019. Let's stay with Hepburn. As his reward for being the first out, he can have a full on board lap, I think. See what kind of a start he can get on. Right, I have to keep taking a drink as well. And you think it'd be water, but no, it's Jack Daniels, because that's the drink for my Friday night. Anyway, Hepburn comes to start his lap. There's an almighty queue I can see on the map forming on the way to Parabolica. We'll see if anyone queue jumps. Keep an eye on those dots. I mean, I'd be tempted to if it was me, just to annoy everyone, because that's the kind of person I am. But anyway, first two corners negotiated without any issue for Hepburn. Good start to his lap as he runs round. Is that Curva Grande? Turn 3? I think it's Curva Grande. I have no idea what this chicane's called. Turn 4 and turn 5 as far as I'm concerned. A little bit of squirrely on exit as it runs down to Lesmo 1. This is another one where you can sort of beach on the outside curve, but he avoids that into Lesmo 2. He's clean again. Yep, nice and clean through those two. DRS on his run down to Ascari again. Probably my favourite section of this track, even though I've probably had the most crashes here. Oh, big slide, touches that curb. Does he keep it out the wall? He does. And the beauty of him having that gap is that he can get going again and not get disqualified. Who's coming through behind? I think that's going to be Mrs. Carr coming through. Yeah, it is. Mrs. Carr comes through, then Hobo comes through. We can now get going and avoid getting disqualified. Did well there. Got it turned around, but didn't get in anyone's way. So Mrs. Carr will be the first to set a lap after all. See how competitive it is. So really, I think we're going to be looking at low 121s. 121.3, that could be okay. Hobo goes to 121 flat. I would have guessed that might be on used tyres. I'll have a look in a moment. Josh is going to be the next across the line. He's going to set a 120.6. Closely followed by King Fi, who puts in a 121.4. Who's next at Curly? Yep, Curly next across the line, 22.3. Then we've got Speedy coming across. Did we have Speedy across? I think we have Speedy. He must have been validated on his lap. Scotty across the line to 120.6. Pretty much equals Josh at the top. Marshall across to 145.8. That's going to have been a throwaway lap. Let's go around on Cons. Cons has gone to the beach in the last turn. He's got off his front wing missing, so he'll have to box. Spinotta's just come across to start. No, he must have been validated. 124 he set. Yeah, I think the cut-off's going to be like maybe a high 20 or low 21. I think, looking at the pace in Q1. So Mrs. Call's going to be coming in. Who's going to be on a lap then? Marshall, I think. Oh, Speedy. No, Speedy didn't. He invalidated as well, didn't he? Speedy's going to be coming through. Keeps it just within track limits. It's going to be very tight on energy. I think he might just get away with it. As long as he keeps it above 10%, he won't start to lose the benefit. Runs really wide at Parabolica though. He's going to lose a little bit of speed on the run to the line. And sets a 121.3. I think he might have to go again on that, to be honest. So Marshall across the line, 121.4. It's very tight from P3 down to P7. We've got 4/10 in it at the moment. Speedy's gone straight on. Can he negotiate the barricades? No, he can't. That's a poor effort. Spinotto is going to come round to cross the line. He's all but out of energy though. I know he's boxing. Never mind. Hepburn's on another outlap after his adventures on his first run and his mishaps. I think he's the only one that's on a lap at the moment. Oh no, Scott's pushing again. Not sure if he's using this as practice or just looking to improve. Excuse me, I'm going to have to cough in a second. Oh dear. Oh no, Scott's charging. No, my mistake. So Hepburn's the one to watch then. We'll watch him again. It may be me that cursed him. And see how he can get on this time. Hopefully he can keep on. It was looking like quite a tidy lap up until he got to Ascari last time, to be fair to him. Again, probably a little bit better through that second chicane this time. Didn't get quite as unsettled on exit. Lesmo 1 is tidy. Lesmo 2, yeah, again tidy. Not pushing the boundaries. But to be fair, as long as he's running a decent pace, you don't really need to, it's just carrying enough speed. Comes down to a score. We've got yellow flags for a slow moving Speedy in front. Yeah, he's a little bit offline again. Yeah, it's cost him on exit. He's got away with it, no invalidation because he went miles off. Strange thing about this game, you can go off track and it'll invalidate unless you go miles off, and then that's okay. Hobo was on scrub tyres. I thought he must have been. Hepburn comes across. He's going to put in his second effort, I suppose. It's going to be a 121.2. Drops him into fourth. So, see, I was saying, what was I say? A low 21 as a cut off. I know that's, well, I mean, a 21.0. It's currently third, but I can see the pace picking up on these second runs. Who's coming round next? Panda is on an outlap. Rapid is on an outlap. Mrs. Carl is on a push lap, I think. Yeah, she's on a push lap. Shaunicus, yes, Shaunicus I think we'll go with. We haven't seen him do a lap. Showing purple sector 1. Don't know how much of that I believe because this game talks rubbish. Using more of the track through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2 than we saw from Hepburn earlier. Running it right out to that white line. Sector 2, let's see what it says sector 2. 53.6. Not a clue what that means. Purple again apparently. Oh, little squirrely on exit. Cons goes P3, gets a decent lap in. 120.7, that's going to be fairly competitive, I would imagine. That would be a good shout for getting through to Q3. Shaunicus comes around, runs it out wide. You're going to cut it back into the inside line, I think. Yep, it sets a 120.8. I don't know. I expected Shaunicus to be quicker, to be honest. I mean, I know his tyres are showing as one lap. I don't know how much I read into it, to be honest. I don't know if that's a new set or a used set. I never know what to believe of this game. Rapid's going to cross the line next. What can Rapid set? He set early pace early on. 20.1, a little bit slower than his Q1 time, but I would imagine that's going to be more than enough to get him through to Q3. King Fi goes 7th after setting a 121.2. He's going to be right in that mix on the cusp, I think, when the time comes at the end. Zodak's boxing. Spinotto's going again. That looked to be fairly rapid through there. And the run down to the last corner. Sort of runs it midway around track, all the way around that corner. I didn't really catch any apex, but there is 1,000 different lines through that corner, I suppose. I'm going to set a 120.21.9, sorry, not a 22. That's not going to be enough. Currently 13th. Con's coming round to pit. I know Con's he's recharged and he's going again. Shaunicus is going to box. Rapid. How much fuel is he carrying? 0.6. So Rapid's going to have to box. Panda's also going to have to box. Spinotto is still pushing, but he's out of energy, so I can't see him improving. So I think we'll go with Cons for now. Who's actually the only one? Is he the only one in the push lap? Yes, I think so. Yes, he is. He's the only one that's going to be on a sort of competitive lap. He's showing purple again. Again, maybe not. Let me see what his split looks like through sector 2. No, we won't, because he's binned it. Luckily gets away without any terminal damage, just loses an end plate. He's got a red ball coming around behind. I think they're on an out lap. Is that Mrs. Carl? No, it's Marshall. So Cons will have to bring it back. Oh, as he goes around again. I would have thought it'd be safe anyway. I mean, I'd probably take that risk if it was me, but then again, I'd probably also get eliminated. Marshall is still coming round. Hepburn's coming round to start a lap. Spinotto is still running round. He's getting plenty of laps in, bless him. He's having a great time on those soft tyres. Matty in out lap, Curly in an out lap. So Hepburn first start. Yeah, we'll go with Hepburn again. He will get a quick lap in when we're watching him. He's got Marshall following close behind, so I think we'll keep an eye on him too. Hepburn goes your first two, okay. Marshall, yeah, looks okay. Gets power down on exit, gets a good run out. Hepburn, 3/10 up in sector 1 apparently. Marshall is 2/10 up in sector 1. Okay, so they're both looking to improve. Hepburn can keep this sort of pace up, it'd be improving by a decent amount. Oh, I think Marshall's gone round. Yeah, I'm guessing that's a touch on the curbs. Killer sausage curbs. That's going to ruin his lap. Hepburn comes now to the end of sector 2 and he is currently 7/10 up. This is looking like a very decent lap. Currently on track for P2 as it stands. Clean through a scoring, much better. We're using every rev available as he runs down to Parabolica. Just needs to hold this tight. He doesn't need to do anything spectacular. The time he's made already is enough to put in a really competitive time. He's going to come across the line and set a 1:20.2, a really nice time. Puts him in P2, only a 10th off Rapid. In fact, less than a 10th off Rapid. Granted, not his best time he's ever set, but it's within 3/10 of the best lap so far. Really good effort. Marshall's going to go for another attempt after recharging. Mrs. Carl comes down. I think this will be her last real attempt at it, given the energy she's got left. She's going to set... Is it going to be an improvement? I think it is. 1:20.1, makes up a couple of tenths. Pushes her up into P8. This is going to be a really tight fight for this last Q3 spots. Speedy coming down now. According to the time, he wasn't... Oh, really wide, and he's round. Curly's coming around behind him. He's not in his way, thankfully. Can Curly improve at all? It does. He goes 2/10 quicker, but it's not enough to move him up, unfortunately. So he will be... I think he will be leaving us in Q2, unfortunately. I don't think he's got the energy to go again and improve. Hobo... Yep, Hobo coming around the final corner. He's going to set a 1:20.4, pushes himself up into P3. Zodak comes round. He's... I think he must have had a moment. He's well off the pace on that one. Maybe trying to go on again, but again he's running low on energy. Marshall, we'll keep an eye on Marshall. 3/10 up apparently. Is he actually? We'll soon find out. It's going to be a 1:20.7. 7/10 improvement. I think that will get him through. Three cars. Yeah, Curly. Is Curly pushing? No, Curly's not pushing. He's not burning any energy. Zodak is. So the only one that can now get out of Q2 and push Panda down is Zodak, I believe. Everyone else is through. So let's see what his split looks like. The inner sector 2 he needs, and he's just over 3/10 improvement over the lap. And he's currently down by a quarter of a second. He's really going to struggle to find half a second in the last sector unless he's had a mistake through it before. But he's now tapped on energy as well. This is really going to be hurting him. Yeah, he's had enough and bins it. Which will be very much frowned upon by the stewards, who will have seen this because it's on stream. But anyway, Zodak's going to be leaving us. Speedy really needs to change his name. So we're going to be losing Speedy, Zodak, Spinotto, who's just Sinotto because he can't have the B in his name, Curly and Matty, who unfortunately didn't manage to get a lap together in Q2. I think the surprise so far for me though has got to be Shawnicus. Considering he's championship leader and he's been up there every race so far, he really looks to be lacking a bit of pace so far. Whether or not he's just biding his time and just doing the minimum, maybe. He could prove me wrong. Could be more time to come, but he's got a lot to find. He's 7/10 off Rapid in that session. 6/10 off Hepburn. Hepburn's putting in a really good showing. I'm impressed so far. Anyone got any predictions for race winner? First retirement? Anyone think they're going to be the first to bin it? So again, Rapid leading after Q2. Hepburn right on his heels though. Less than, well under a tenth behind him. Hobo close behind you, third quarter second back. Josh behind him, really close to Scotty. Cons, Marshall and Shawnicus pretty close together behind that for 6th, 7th and 8th. Mrs. Cole 9th, a few tenths back, and a 10th end of Panda, who is the last one to make it through in 10th. As I said before, leaving us in Q2 will be Speedy, who misses out by just over a 10th. Then we've got Zodak, Spinotto, Curly and DXT Matty. Yeah, 2 tier 2 drivers through. Cons ripping tier 2. And Marshall. I nearly missed you out your own comment then, Marshall. I'm sorry. It's been really good showing from you both so far. Putting in some good pace. Would have been safe again. Well, you know what it's like. The second you take that risk and you don't play it safe is the time when you'll get knocked out. Sometimes it's better to just burn that extra set and get track position for your race. Provided you don't bin it in this session and end up 10th, that is. Who's going to be first out? I'm going to guess it's going to be Hepburn. Had the track Wednesday. Okay. It's worked out quite nicely for you then. Shonicus has left. I don't know if that's a connection issue. I will try and invite him back before these two start their laps. Shonicus 10-10. So the first out in this session is actually going to be Cons, Mr. Tier 2. Followed by Scotty, X Tier 2. Zorak is very unhappy with the last corner. Given his reaction in Discord, I won't repeat what he said, but he's not very happy. Something like, whoever made that last corner is very silly, and I don't like it. Everybody out on track so far, bar 4? Yeah. Shonicus obviously is not here at the moment. As I say that, he joins back, so we've got him back. That's good. Let's see, can Cons pull off a miracle and get pole for Tier 2? Oh, it's wide. Lucky he didn't get an invalidated lap there for next lap. Part of me hopes he'll get it. Most of me hopes he won't because he's never shut up about it. But we'll find out. So, I need to put my data back on, don't I? Telemetry, lap data. Okay. Turn 1 and 2 is very neatly negotiated. Gets the power down really nicely out of 2. Run through Curva Grande. I don't really know what the best line is through there. I'm assuming it's holding the inside. That's what I've always done. Comes down to second chicane. Does manage to ride it nicely, yeah. Really nicely. No drama at all. Until there's one. Leaves a little bit on table on exit. Doesn't really run it out as wide as he could. Better through Lesmo 2. Carries a lot of speed. See if we can nail a star. Ride a fair amount of curb, but it's a little bit of a wiggle. A tiny little wiggle midway through, but I don't think it would have cost him too much time. Hepburn's had a moment on his lap. Is that an out lap or is that no, it's on his lap. He's lost his wing. No wing for Hepburn, so he's going to have to box and think about going again. Cons comes across as the first time of Q3, a 120.6. That's a really good start. Scotty comes across 21.0. This car is about to start her lap. Would have been an out lap. Rapid on an out lap. Marshall running down to Parabolic. He's going to be the next one to cross the line. Gets a really nice tow from Rapid. It's a nice little helping hand. Looking nice and neat. Keeps it settled. Gets power down. Can he do it for Tier 2? 121.1. Goes third. Only a 10th off Scott. And he'll be returning return the favour with a nice distant tow for Rapid start his lap. Runs straight on into turn 1 to get out of his way. Shonicus is on his out lap. Hepburn will be boxing for a lack of a wing. Panda, he must have had a moment on his lap that I've missed. That's my bad. Josh coming around to finish his lap. going to be a 1:20.6, exactly the same time as Cons, but because he set it second, he drops him behind. Hobo comes across, 1:21.2. That's got to be used tyres. Surely that's got to be used tyres. That's not quick for Hobo. Mrs. Call, run across the line, 1:21.3, drops into 6th. Oh, by the way, if you're still listening, Marshall, one thing I did notice, and I'm not telling you how to drive, but as you exit the Parabolica, I noticed you didn't, like, if you cut to the right, you shorten in that straight a little bit. It'll gain you next, like, I'm talking like maybe half a tenth, but it is half a tenth there, just, I don't know, just letting you know. It's what everyone else does. Rapid goes top, 1:20.2. Puts himself 4/10 clear. He's actually got slower every session so far. Is that unused tyres? I don't know. Cons is showing as 2-lap old tyres for his best, so he could well have been unused tyres for that first run. He's now on his second run, as showing he's just under a 10th up. So I'm guessing this is a new set then. Oh, wiggle, wiggle, and he's off into the gravel. We'll see him reappear from the left. There he is. Yep, tracks that way, mate. Scrub set for Hobo, yeah. I thought it must have been. So Cons, I would guess he's going to scrap this run and just box. Shonkus is currently pushing on his way down to a scar. Is he pushing? No DRS open. So he set a 1:20.7 last lap. When he goes fourth, yeah, he's struggling a little bit around here, Shonkus. I mean, I'm saying he's struggling. He's putting in good times. He's not slow by any stretch of the imagination. He's just not quite as on it as you'd expect him to be. Oh, sorry. Apologies. I've got something stuck in my throat today. Moving around then, so I think the only two for us to watch is going to be Panda and Hepburn. The only two on track at the minute. They're sort of offset to everyone else. Where is my drink? There it is. There's my drink. That's better. Okay, so Panda through turn 1 and 2. Keeps it off that curb. I've sometimes found that's a better way of doing it because the curbs really unsettle the cars in this game when you're trying to get the drive down. Through curve grande, running down. If someone can tell me the name of this next chicane, that'd be great. It's sort of the only corner I don't know the name of, apart from turn 1 and 2. I don't know them either, actually, thinking about it. No dramas so far. Lesmo 1 doesn't do a Cons and send it off stage left. Lesmo 2, yeah, again negotiated nicely. How's Hepburn doing? Hepburn using all the track on Lesmo 1's exit and all the track on 2. Panda obviously is not showing as being up or down because he hasn't put a time in yet. Runs a little bit too far to the left, compromising a bit. See how he gets to end his lap. Hepburn touches that curb, but he's okay, still stable. See where these two can slot themselves in. Panda's going to cross the line with a 1:21.2, goes 8th. Hepburn is going to put in a 1:21.0. So Hepburn as well, not able to match what he did in Q2. Not sure if that's a scrub set again, because it's just Hobo chicane. It can be your chicane if you bin it there. If you DNF on that chicane, you can have it. I will officially call it Hobo chicane. But then if you DNF on purpose, you'll get a ban. So that's the trade-off. Do you want a race or do you want a corner named after you? Marshall just starting a lap. Mrs. Call also just starting a lap. So the Red Bulls are running line astern on the laps here. Hobo's in an out lap. Cons is on an out lap. Scotty on an out lap. Panda on a in lap. Yep. And Hepburn also on an in lap. Okay, so I'm keeping an eye on the Red Bulls then in that case. Mrs. Carl using all the track on the exit of that chicane. Marshall gets through it this time after having his issues there earlier. Nice and neat on exit. Marshall. Yep. All good so far for 2 Red Bulls. Mrs. Call is currently 2/10 up, almost 3/10. Marshall is 4/10 up. So he's en route for a really nice time here if he can just keep it together. Keep with him for a second. It's neat through Ascari. This is where they need every bit of extra power they can get down these next 2 sections. Mrs. Call kind of hits the apex in Parabolica. Yeah, pretty much the same line for both of them. Mrs. Call does tuck to the right to cross the line, puts a 120.9 and improves. Marshall runs to the inside. This time goes P2. Mega lap. See, I told you. Run it to the inside. That's what it gets you. Mega lap from Marshall. P2. Awesome bit of driving. He will be very pleased with that, I would imagine. Cons is driving like an old lady trying to get out of parking space to burn some fuel. Killing his clutch. Josh starting a lap. Scotty's finishing a lap. He's done a 120.4, puts himself P3. Marshall lives on in P2 for now. Rapid coming around to start a lap shortly. I think Hobo's on a lap, if I'm not mistaken. He is. Through Hobo chicane, as he wants to call it. Nice and neat. Lesmo 1 is negotiated successfully. Doesn't really use all the track on exit, but then again doesn't necessarily need to if he's carrying the speed. Uses a little bit more on exit at Lesmo 2. Let's see what his split time is showing us. He is 3/10 up, so yeah, he's looking at maybe a 6th or a 7th place. No, he's not. I've cursed him. He's looking at the wall, is where he's looking at. That's going to be curtains for Hobo then. It's going to be P9 for him. Panda's finished. Let's have a look. Josh is coming through next. He's currently 4/10 up apparently. He's closely followed by Scott. Mate, that's a mega lap. That Wednesday practice has definitely paid off for you. Josh is coming round the final corner. Where's he going to jump? It's going to be a quick lap this actually. It's a 120.1, goes P1 as it stands. Knocks Marshall down to 3rd. Shawnicus is boxing, he's had enough. That's Hobo, sorry, getting out of the way. What can Rapid do? Rapid's showing us 3/10 up. If that's true, it should be enough. Oh, Hobo's car resets the track in front of Cons. Just saw that in the background. Cons has gone round as a result. Rapid crosses the line. 119.6, yep, there it is. Rapid just flexes on his last attempt, puts it back on pole. I think Cons has just done a mess in his trousers. After that, I just caught in the background, but I'm pretty sure those car automatically reset the track when he was trying to stay out the way. But yeah, that's a lot more mixed up than I expected it to be. That would not have been the top 3. I mean, I would have put Rapid on pole, granted, because he's a very good qualifier. Josh is usually up around there. Marshall, yeah, performance of the day. Mr. Saturday, Mr. George Russell there, sticks it on P3. Scott close behind in 4th. Cons, I don't know if Cons is improving. I didn't get a chance to jump on board with him. I saw that, Obo. Dirty move. Shawnicus just doesn't seem to get it together. Whether he's going for more of a race pace setup, I'm not sure. We might see him start to come back during race. Mrs. Call putting it in 7th. That's a pretty good performance for her, considering it's a mixed lobby and she's obviously tier 2. Oh no, 3 tier 2 drivers. Don't make his head any bigger. Look, if there's a compliment to be given out, I've got to give out the compliment. I'm going to criticise. If he goes and bins it at the start of the race, I will criticise him, don't worry. But that's a mega lap. That's a really quick lap. So yeah, as I said, Rapid puts it on pole by almost half a second from Josh JS Gaming. Marshall sticks it in third alongside Scotty on the second row. Cons and Shonicus following behind. Mrs. Call and Hepburn on row 4. And then rounding out the top 10, we've got Hobo, who obviously binned his last lap and couldn't improve, so I'm expecting him to try and move forward. And Panda following him close behind in 10th. Well, to say I was talking to myself the whole way through that, I feel like there was at least plenty going on and enough for me to talk about, which is nice. I wasn't having to make stories up the whole time. I've been live for over an hour already. That's gone very quick. But now it gets really busy because now I'm going to try and keep an eye on everything in the race. And my eyes are not that quick. I'm not that good at multitasking. So I would assume the strategy is going to be a medium hard around here. It seems to be the same for every track. I would think we'll probably see a few start on hards and just sort of bide the time, because it is, once you get in that DRS train around here, it is very difficult to break free. Unless you've got a clear tyre advantage or a clear pace advantage, you find yourself stuck in groups. So sometimes it's worth just sort of sitting with a pack, maybe starting on the worst tyres and getting them out of the way and just getting dragged along with DRS. So let's see, let's have a look at the tyres, shall we? The detail, we've got tyres, so a very weird mix. Rapid is going to go for the hards. He must feel he's got enough pace in hand to be able to sort of stick around the front with those. Josh, Marshall and Scotty starting mediums behind. That's going to be the standard strategy, medium to hard, I imagine. Cons takes the hards, as does Mrs. Carl, Hepburn, Hobo, Zodak, Curly and Frenzy. Everyone else, bar Scarito, who's been an absolute mad lad and started on softs, everyone else is on mediums. So Scarito may be looking to make places up early and then hoping for an early safety car. It's a viable strategy. It's worth trying something different starting from the back. He did get robbed a little bit in qualifying. Right, let's take away the detail and knock that off. We will have... Do we need lap data? I don't think we need lap data for the race. It doesn't really matter what lap times people are setting. We'll see if there's a fastest lap comes up. Telemetry I'm going to leave off for the start because obviously energy's not going to come into it until probably a couple of laps in. We'll just get as good a view as we can of the action going on. I would imagine Rapid's going to have to put a fair amount of work into those tyres down this last straight to try and get some warmth in. They are a nightmare to get warm. Well, there's the pit stop strategy. As I said, medium to hard, or if you're Scarito, you're looking at a soft medium. But I would be very surprised if we don't have some form of safety car interfere with this race, to be honest. It's like we saw in qualifying, it's very easy to have a spin, and when you add in another 17 cars around you, that spin can very quickly turn into a retirement. So Rapid and Josh make their way to the front row. Hopefully we'll get a good camera for the start. I know this game likes to give terrible camera angles. Scotty messes up his parking. You would think HGV driver would be able to park in a box, but apparently not. Anybody else going to mess it up? Usually Speedy does. Has Speedy got it? No, Speedy's parked. He's managed it. I mean, he's nowhere near his line, but he's in. He's technically done it. Camu gets disqualified, as does Scarito. That's twice in he's been disqualified already. The cameras are terrible. I'm trying to get a good one. I think Josh might be the best one. Josh gets a better launch, and Rapid is going to run away from him down into turn 1. Well clear. 3 wide behind. Shonicus coming. Shonicus has come from nowhere up to P4. Oh, give me a good camera. Rapid hangs around the outside. Have we got any carnage behind? Hobo and Mrs. Carr running straight across. Hobo's been turned round. That's going to cause carnage. It has indeed. Oh dear. That's not good. Marshall's down in 16th. He's a nightmare. Gets caught up in that as well after an amazing qualifying performance. Speedy gets past Mrs. Carr on the run down into the second chicane. Otherwise, Rapid is hold on to the lead. Josh second. Shawnicus has had a mega start. Did he start P7 and he's already up to P3? Scotty off second behind in fourth. Hepburn is doing okay. Cons. Speedy, good start. I think he started 11th. He's made up 4. Let's have a quick look. Position change. Yeah, Speedy up 4. Mr. Carl down 1. Penalty already for Spinotto. I think that might have been a collision at the start, to be honest. Scotty's looking very close to Shawnicus all of a sudden. Maybe a mistake through a Ascari on his part. Spinotto and Zodak are going at it, the two Mercedes teammates. Scotty flies past Shawnicus. No effort. Let's get telemetry on. Speeding in the pit lane for Camus. I wonder if Shawnicus is running a wrong setup here or something, because Scott Ober walked past him down that straight. Zodak and Spinotto are still going at it. He's going to lose out to Marshall, is he? No, he's not. He's going to hang on to it. This front pack is just starting to stretch away a little bit. Hepburn's sort of on the cusp of being in DRS. Cons is the same back to him, and then it starts to spread out a little bit more. Mrs. Carl dropped nearly 2 seconds off the back of Speedy now. We're going to end up with 2 racers. Someone's round. It's Spinotto. That's a really unfortunate name, considering what's just happened. Don't think there's any damage involved, but just a pretty considerable time loss. Who have we got that's close? Let's have a look. Panda's pretty close to the back of Mrs. Carr. I think that's about the closest we've got. Although Scotty's looking to have some really decent race pace. Oh, someone's off. It's Frenzy, is it? Yeah, Frenzy's been off at Ascari. Again, I don't think I can see any damage on his car. Scotty Hepburn sets the quickest lap on his hards. Hepburn looking very quick as well. I just don't think he quite got it together in Q3. Marshall and Curley going at it down the straight. I think we should watch this battle and see. Are we going to see a dive bomb? Is he going to do it? He's considering it. He's considering it. No. Backs out of it. Thinks better of it. Oh, Marshall gets very squirrely. I think he just touched that inside curve and won. It's going to be safe for now, though, I think. Far enough clear. Hepburn hustling Shawnicus. Shawnicus is really struggling. Almost... he's right on that verge. I think if he loses DRS, he's in serious danger of sort of going backwards after that amazing start that he got. Really good launch, but it's just he just can't translate it into lap pace. Front 3 starting to stretch away a little bit. I think Hepburn needs to get a move on Shawnicus done, because he does seem to have more pace than him. Speedy closing up to back of Cons, who runs really wide, as does Mrs. Carl. Front 3. Let's see if we get anyone closing up here. Hobo's looking at the back of Curley. He's going to go for a move down to Parabolica, I think. Keep an eye on the intervals at the front now. He's going to wait for the DRS, I think. Hepburn gets past Shawnicus. Again, really easily. I think... Oh, Josh and Rapid side by side into one. Rapid hangs on. But he's under serious pressure on exit. Josh has got more energy as well. I think this battle's going to continue down into turn 4 and 5. He's going to look... Yeah, he's looking down the inside, but backs out a little bit. Camus had another moment in Ascari. Scotty's just biding his time. He's really enjoying the fact that these two are battling. Shawnicus is... He's living with Hepburn. Oh, Hepburn's round! He's in the wall. That's going to be wing damage, I would imagine. I can't see because the cameras are terrible. Oh, come on. Give me a good camera. He might get disqualified here as well. This is the danger. No, he does really well. Really nicely spun round. Get it rolling, mate. You're not in anyone's way, just stick it inside. Yeah, he survives. He lives to fight on. The game does not screw him. Scotty gets past Josh. There must have been a bad run through a Scary there. And we could see him challenging for the lead in a moment. Hobo did get past Curly. I missed that. Someone's gone round. That's Scarito, or is that Curly? Or is it both? Oh, big crash. Oh, how is that not a retirement? Drive-through penalty. Scarito and Curly involved. Spinato hit him like an absolute sledgehammer and somehow didn't retire either. And Scotty's got past Rapid in all of that. Who's now going to come under pressure from Josh again. Scott with a real chance to try and break at the front here. No, he's got really good race pace at the minute. I don't understand how that wasn't a retirement. That was a huge hit. It physically lifted the car. Josh drops back a little bit. It's Josh seems to come to life through sort of the last couple of corners. Oh, Scott's round. Scott's in. Whoa, no, Scott. Oh, he's got a really bad habit at that minute. Oh, this could be nasty. Gets out of the way just about. Just about shuffles it round without getting in anyone's way. This is the trouble now with it disqualifying everyone for being still. You've got so much pressure on you to get going. Panda's right on the back of Mrs. Call. I think he'd be well advised to save his energy and go for a run down Main Street with DRS, which he is doing. He's quite a bit more in hand than Mrs. Call. Oh, Scotty. Is that Scott round again? It is. Scott's round again. Oh, he's not going to be a happy bunny. Panda. Panda's struggling. I wonder if he's running more downforce than Mrs. Call. He's just about catching her by the end of the straight, but he's not close enough, fast enough. Mrs. Call is pretty much out of energy now, to be fair. Yellow flags for someone. That's Scott again. Oh. I wonder if he's got some sort of underfloor or rear wing damage, because it's really injuring. Yeah, sorry Rob, I didn't see you say that. I did catch that reset to track. Hepburn's in the pits for his new wing. Scott's still going, so I'm guessing there's no like permanent damage to his car. He's just maybe overheated his tyres or something. Camu is round again in Parabolica. He's missing an end plate. Curly's coming round. Hopefully he doesn't pull back on in front of him or anything silly. Curly's boxing. I'm guessing he's got damage. Unless he's just going for an early stop. Could just be an early stop, to be fair. Let's go back to Rapid and Josh. They're coming down the straight again. Oh no, Panda clears Mrs. Call down the back straight, sorry. So Josh looking to go on the attack. They're very equal on the RS, but he's got that DRS obviously in hand. I think he's going to get it done this time, yeah. Oh, it runs deep though, really deep. But luckily for him, Rapid's just a little bit too close to take advantage. He ends up getting stuck behind him. It might be a move coming in the background. Yep, Matty on Mrs. Carl, is it? Oh no, sorry, that's a lap car. That's me being silly. I think that must be Curly. It is, that's Curly. I think all Rapid needs to do at this point is just bide his time. He's on the worst tyres. Oh, Josh! Oh, what is happening with leaders in that corner? Spins it round. That's a little bit naughty, right in Konza's path. He manages to avoid him. Don't know if there's any damage there, but it's cost him a lot of positions if there's no damage. So basically all Rapid's had to do so far is just not spin. His two main challenges so far, well, three if you count Hepburn, have all sort of been themselves. Shonicus seems to really struggle in speed. He's now coming up onto the back of him. Speedy putting in a really good performance so far. Just keeping under the radar a little bit. Closing it in. Is he going to be too far back to have a run down the straight? Not got his DRS open for some reason. Unless he doesn't want to lead, he might just want to follow him for now. Curly's had enough. Unfortunately, when you end up a lap down, you sort of had it. fastest going on as far as I can see behind. Let's get rid of that interval now, I think. Hobo 8/10 off Zodak. He's starting to slowly make his way back up. Who's that? Hepburn. Is that Hepburn? It is. Hepburn's round again. That must be his least favourite corner in the world. Choppy or something. I think it's come back. Hobo, yeah, looking to attack Zodak. He's gonna get it done early, but he might end up giving DRS away here. Depending on how good of a run Zodak can get out of it. Spinotto's gone round again after turn 1 and turn 2. Let's see if Hobo's safe. 7/10's clear. He should be okay. Zodak's pushing to try and catch him, but I think he's just too far back, to be honest. DXD might put in a good performance. Moving up to 7th. Nice little comeback drive for him so far. Speedy, I would imagine, is just biding his time behind Shawnicus. He doesn't seem to want to attack him. I think they're both on the same tyre strategy, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, they're both on mediums. I'll leave the tyres up for now and keep an eye on them. Pit window will be opening fairly soon for mediums, I think. Sort of like lap 11, lap 12. Yellow flags. That's Hepburn again, isn't it? It is. Hepburn's round again in the final corner. Is he beached? I'm not sure what's happening. I can't see any wheel spin going on. He's trying to move, but the game's not having it. I think he might be beached. That's... well, it's not been a great day for Hepburn. He's shown a lot of pace as well. That's going to be annoying for him. Josh is boxing. Probably not a bad call considering he's out of position after every spin. No wing replacement. I'm surprised he didn't have any wing damage, to be honest. Puts on the hards. I think that might be maybe a lap or two before it was scheduled to stop. Speedy's still sat behind Shawnicus. There's a yellow flag for a red ball. That's going to be Marshall. Marshall had a bit of a spin on exit of 2, I think. Yellow flags again. That's Spinotto again. Oh, he's took out Rapid. Oh no. Shawnicus has run straight into Rapid. What is happening? Oh dear. Well, in all of that, Speed has inherited the lead. Con second. Rapid is not going to be happy. I didn't catch all of that. I only had an on-board view. Shawnicus, I don't know what he was doing. I think this comes back to the ghosting debate again, because he made no effort to avoid Rapid at all. And picks up a penalty for his troubles, but to be honest, although there was a car in the middle of the track, he did have plenty of time to slow down or dodge him or something. So everyone, I would imagine, is going to pit. Be silly not to. Those on mediums will be very happy, because this is pretty much perfect for their strategy. Everybody's in. Marshall's coming in as well. Yep. Cameron's in. He probably would have been better off staying out and unlapping himself, but he hasn't done. Josh is going to stay out because he's already pitted. I'm forgetting that. He pitted last lap. He will make some places up here. Yeah, moved himself up into 5th. I know. At least I don't have to try and make a conversation with myself, Rob. So, I mean, it's not a good way to get a safety car. Not what I wanted to see, to be honest. I would think there's going to be an incident report coming on that one, but I would like to see some on boards from that because that did not look particularly good. I did say there would be a safety car involved. I do feel like I've cursed it a little bit now, to be honest, but you know. In other news, Speedy's leading his first race for probably 500 years. Or at least since F1 2020, when he constantly claims that he was really fast and really good. Although I've seen no evidence of it, but I'll take his word for it. Con's running in P2. Repping Tier 2 as is... Oh no, sorry, Miss Scar's Tier 1 now. Of course she got promoted. I think the next Tier 2 driver is currently Zodak in P7. This has brought Marshall back into it a little bit after his good quality performance and his bad start. Yeah, he's currently starting 10th, but it does bring him back back together time-wise. Scotty as well, gives him a second chance. Scarito closing up. Spinotto as well. Camus, he's kind of... He's at it now. I'd say plug the bat. Ah, oh, never mind. It is what it is. We all know that we did it, Rob. Don't matter about everyone else. It's just annoying. I mean, if obviously I know this is running alright, but it's literally because I'm not running any sort of chats or anything. I'm just running the bare minimum. And once I tried to run VR through it as well, I think my my connection had just died. It's just a bit annoying that I'm literally like going to be 4 days away from getting fibre. Everyone will just have to buy a subscription and buy the cars and the track, and then they can just watch it live. Is it going to be in this lap? No, Spinotto's still way off for some reason. I'm saying it won't be, and it could be a late call, to be fair. We'll see. We'll go back to Speedy just in case. I think this could be a late call. No, still showing us having... No, there we go. It is a late call. Cons is running to the back of Speedy, I think. Hopefully no damage. It was very slight contact. Can Speedy catch anyone out? Kind of, a little bit, not really. 410's back to Cons, but he should be safe from there, I would think. Hobo gets a jump on Josh. Behind those, we've got Zodak and Shonicus going side by side. Zodak's going to get the better of him. Shonicus down to 8th. Like I said, not a good day for Shonicus. He's now under a little bit of pressure from Panda. Cons is pressuring Speedy through Curva Grande. Is he going to be close enough for a look? I don't think so. Matty gets past Marshall, yeah, on the restart. These hard tyres will probably take a lap or two to really get up to where they want to be. Frenzy now up to 4th. Always ends up there. Always safe. If he qualified, he'd be right up there every time, but he doesn't. Streamline's quite close to it. Yeah, it is. That's the trouble. I need to test it properly once I've got a better connection, because obviously running VR. Oh, Speedy picks penalty up. Running iRacing in VR itself is going to be quite intensive, and I don't want to sacrifice performance on that for the sake of streaming, obviously. Might be a sign for me to go to triples, we'll see. Frenzy attacking Mrs. Carl. She's not going to defend that one, just lets him go. Cons is... Jeez. Oh, no, just Speedy pushes him on a little bit. This is like NASCAR. It's got some bump drafting going on. Nudging from everyone behind. Hobo's challenging Mrs. Call. Mrs. Call does not want to give that one up. And she doesn't. Frenzy drops down to 6th. I don't know what happened on the exit there. I think he must have got a lot of wheel spin. Hobo does get past Mr. Call. Keeps it on track. Nice move. Firm but fair on that one. Zodak. Frenzy's just going backwards. I wonder if he's picked up a little bit of damage from nudging. He's dropping and dropping and dropping. Down to 9th now. Under pressure from Matty. Frenzy now down to 10th. Scott's going to be on him in a second. Yellow flags. That's Camu again, I think. It is. No wing. Cons picks up a penalty, so we're all square at the front. Hobo in 3rd. Get your foot down. You've got a chance of winning this. Shonicus moves back up to 6th. No, he's not. He just does this never look very comfortable. Let's have a look at his top speed, because I'm just... What's he hitting? 199... 208 for the guys behind, yeah. I'm wondering if he's running a bit more downforce than he wanted to be. Panda and Matty rubbing wheels. It's getting very busy in this section. Oh, everyone's up. Oh, Panda! Oh, that's going to be damage for Zodak, I think. Possibly for Matty as well. Panda goes around. Ferrari having a bit of a nightmare. 5 laps here. Can't see any damage. Whether he's got some minor wing damage, I'm not entirely sure. Meanwhile, Hobo's closed up to within DRS of Cons, who has lost it to Speedy. Alfa Romeo teammates for a day. Might be some team orders coming in shortly. Mrs. Call's hanging on in there in 4th. The only thing to bear in mind is Speedy being on the hards. He will probably have a better tyre probably from lap 22 onwards. So if they're going to get him, they're probably going to need to get him earlier. The mediums will start to go off because they are going to have to do a longer stint than they would have normally. Cons is looking to attack though. Here comes DRS down the main straight. Almost touches his rear wheel. Speedy lets him have it, backs out of it. I don't think that's a bad decision. I think he'd be wise just to sit there and get pulled along a little bit until his tyres become the ones to be on. No other overtakes going on at the minute. Spread it out a little bit after that contact last time round. Camu, bless him, is still going round. He's had a bit of a nightmare race and he's a long way behind, but he's still going for it. Speedy sitting right on the back of Cons. While you're watching, Rob, are you back for GP2 later, or do you want me to do that? Well, I'm at it. Zodak now. Oh, it's going to be a brave place to go side by side. They do get through it. Fully expected a massive explosion. Mrs. Call has started to drop further back from Hobo, so this front 3 are running away with it a little bit. Shonicus has dropped back off Josh. It just... He's blowing my mind a little bit. I can't work out why he's so off his usual form. Speedy again, just sitting in behind Cons. Whether it's, oh, he gets a much better exit though. Absolutely flies past on exit. Cons, I think, is probably going to come back at him. Does he? No. Cons settles in behind. It has cost them all quite a lot of time to Mrs. Carlo. She's gained nearly a second during that first sector there. Not a great deal worth of battles going on at the minute. Scotty is closing in on Shonicus though. Now within DRS, so we'll expect to see a move coming there shortly. Zodak challenging Matty again. They're going to go side by side through the same place, I think. Putting on a great show, these two. He's run a little bit wide in entry. Will they get away with it? Yes, he will. Matty again on those harder tyres. Won't have the benefit of him yet. Scott, yeah. Scott's closed in so quickly. See how easy he gets past on the straight. I'll ride on board for it actually, I'm just curious. Yeah, it's not even a competition. I know Shonicus is not running any energy, but it's like an F1 car versus an F2 car. Cons, Hobo are going to switch around. No, they're not. Yes, they are. So Hobo inherits P2 from Cons, his temporary Alfa Romeo teammate. Scotty's now released into 6th to try and chase down Josh. Marshall is going to be the next one to catch Shonicus at this rate. Matty and Zodak still going at it. They're having a great time battling over P9 and P2. Yellow flag. Speedy! Speedy's binned it out at lead! Oh! Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Speedy. Oh, he does all this big talk. He had the lead. You had it. You were on the better tyre. Oh, man. So that closes everyone back up yet again. Is anyone going to make a second stop? It may be worth it. If you've got a fresh set of mediums, this may be a good time to take them. Because you'll be good to the end. Hobo is going to pit. Cons, I would imagine, is as well. He seems to have backed it up a little bit to avoid a double stack. He has. Mrs. calls in. Josh comes in. Scott almost ran into the back of him. Shonicus almost also in. Marshall in. Zodak in. Matty in. Scarito in. Spinotto in. Pandit in. Yeah, everybody's in. So a free stop in effect. Everybody going for fresh mediums. Shonicus is going softs. He's going to be very quick for probably 5 laps. And then he's going to have a big drop off. Scarito on softs too. Matty also on softs. I think the medium's probably going to have a better tyre over the course of the remaining laps, more consistently. But that soft for the first 2 or 3 is going to be very rapid. Yeah, we can do it together, Rob. That's fine. Lesmo 2 is a night. Lesmo 2 seems to have been the cursed corner this race. I'll test what it's like, obviously streaming and running Discord as well. If it starts to affect my stream, then I'll get rid of it, and we'll just use your stream. So again, we have the quiet time where I have to think of things to say. Penalties. Cons sitting on 3 then, seeing as Speedy spinned it. Spinotto on 3, Panda on 3, Frenzy on 8. I think he picked a penalty up from contact, if I remember right, but he may well... Did he pit? I don't think he'll have pit. Tyre... No, he hasn't pit. He may well come in this lap. So we'll clear 5 seconds and pick up some fresh tyres. Camu still a lap down on the field with 6 seconds, so they're not going to make much of a difference to his race. Well, Frenzy pit. You usually would. You'll be able to see where I've stolen ideas from you. Thanks, Rob. I mean, I should be flattered. But I'm not. I'm offended. Yeah, I have noticed the only downside of streaming on your own is the fact that you can't just get up and go for a quick toilet break, because then you've got dead air. If anything, I should have gone when the safety car came out, but I'm going to hang on now because I'm determined and stubborn. Frenzy does clear his 5 seconds and picks up some fresh tyres. Fresh mediums? Softs. That might not be a bad shout. He's going to lap later than everyone else, so he's going to have one lap less away. And to be fair, he needs to try something special to come back from where he is. He may catch the pack by the end of this lap. Is he pushing on? He is pushing on. So we'll see. It could come in this lap. It is awfully slow, this safety car. He says like it's not absolutely flat out. That's there's not a bottle big enough for my bloody mate. Apart from maybe that 3 litre Jack Daniels. Is he going to catch it? Yeah, I think we could well see it come in this lap. Frenzy's going to be on it in probably around... he's backing off just a little bit, but I think he's too close, to be honest. He's going to... Yeah, there we go. He's caught it. So Hobo now gets a chance to see if he can drop everyone. I don't think he's got any soft runners. Yeah, closest one is Shawnicus, and as we know, he has been lacking in pace anyway. So he's just got to keep consistent now and see what happens. So let's leave nothing on there for now. Goes for it early. I think he's dropped Mrs. Carl a little bit there. Kind of. 4/10. Not that clear. Shawnicus gets past Josh. It might have gone a bit early there, though he does. He has to give it back. He will get another run. He's severely lacking in straight line speed, though. Josh doesn't even use any energy. He must be running a bad setup. No energy used by Josh there and still kept ahead of him. That's where it's costing him. That's why he's able to stay close to the corners, but he's just dropping places. Zodak and Marshall going at it. This is the downside for Shawnicus as well. They're soft tyres that, yeah, they're going to help him in the corners where he's already a bit better, but the only place you're going to get a pass around here is down a straight. And he just does not have the straight line speed at all. He's burning his energy and he's just not gaining. And Josh is pretty soon going to have a significant energy advantage on him. He's going to be coming under fire from Scott as well. Matty's right on the back of Scrito. Can't see anything because of the trees. Matty cruises past Scrito actually, pretty easily. I'm going to keep an eye on the Shawnicus battle because I think he's really trying, he's pushing, but it's like being down by 50 horsepower. It's just not quick enough. Yeah, Scott's, both of them used some energy there and he's still just cruised past. Shawnicus can get around the outside. Scott will have to give him room, which he does. Gets squeezed a little bit. But again, he's going to try and chase him down. Going to force him defensive. Backs out of it. I think pretty shortly Shawnicus is not going to have any defence left because he's already down to 40% after just 2 laps. Josh on 90 in front of him. So he's going to be pretty comfortable defending anything he's got to throw at him at this point. What else we got going on? Matty's still close. He's close on the back of I Marshall. Frenzy looking at Scarito, I think. Is he going to look for it? No, he's going to back out of that one. Keep an eye on Shawnicus again. Within 4/10 of Josh. DRS will be enabled this time around, I believe, so we'll just flick to the front. I don't think Mrs. Carl's going to be close enough to do anything. And she's burnt a lot of energy, to be fair. She's going to be running out soon. Marshall gets past Zodak. Zodak down to 20% energy as well. He's running low. Quite a few different drivers have absolutely gone for broke with the batteries on the restart, and it's going to hurt him in these last few laps. Not going to be any chance to recharge. I think once DRS kicks in, we may start to see Shawnicus, especially once his soft tyres start to go off, we'll start to see him drop down a little bit. It's going to be a vicious cycle down the straight. Cons off a second off Mrs. Carl, who's just dropped out of DRS from Hobo actually. It's going to make her quite vulnerable. Someone's gone round, it's Binotto. Don't do a repeat of what you did earlier, please. He doesn't. Camo gets past him. Matty 3/10 off Zodak. Where's Cons? See how close Cons can get to Mrs. Call this time. I'm going to keep an eye on that gap between Scotty and Shawnicus as well down the straight, because I would imagine that's going to close up to within a couple of tenths at least. No move coming from Cons, he's not close enough. Scott, yeah, gets it down to a couple of tenths, he's not quite close enough. Matty gets past Zodak, Frenzy gets past Panda. Cons is, he's going to get hurt by that penalty, I forgot about that. 3 seconds at the minute is going to drop him down to 6th, I think. Yeah, roughly, yeah, be 6th I would have thought at the minute. Cons could do with getting on with it, getting past Mrs. Carl and trying to break. Try and build a gap. Hobo has managed to break away at the front now, 1.7 clear. Mrs. Carl defends from Cons. This is bringing Josh and Shawnicus and Scott all into this battle. Camu, oh, is it too late for a safety car? It's not. Oh well, this is going to make it interesting at the end. Does anyone pit for brand new softs? I think if you're leading, no, you can't afford to. And indeed it doesn't. Mrs. Carl stays out. Nobody's coming in, I don't think. No, everyone's going to stick with what they've got. Might be worth it if you're at the bike yet. Scarito comes in. Free stop effectively. This may only be out for one lap. Okay. Yeah, I've been saying the whole race, I was saying like he's been so slow down the straights, and that'll be why he's got too much downforce on. Less than ideal for him. Still sat in 5th though, still good consistent points. Obviously his main contender in Rapid getting taken out in controversial circumstances, so he won't be scoring today unfortunately. Is it going to come in this lap, or we're going to have a 2-lap dash, or we're going to have a 1-lapper? Going to be no DRS involved, we know that. Safety car in this lap. Scarito, is he going to get back on the pack in time? I would think he will. I think he'll probably catch it just as it gets going again. And he'll have nice warm tyres, fresh softs. Much younger than everyone else's. Hobo's in pretty much the perfect position. He's just got to stay ahead. And Mrs. Carl has not managed to recharge a full battery either. Got a bit less to play with. Cons will be absolutely screaming because that penalty is going to cost him even more now it's bunched everyone up. Scarito does indeed get in the back. Hobo's gone. He's done well that time. He has caught Mrs. Call out 3/4 of a second. I can hear him screaming about it upstairs. Oh, Cons! Cons has come round! Oh, no. Cons. He's had a really good race as well. Oh, that's really unlucky. Zodak gets back past Marsh. Where's Marshall? Oh, he's got damage. What's happened there? Did I miss that? Was that under braking? Shawnicus gets past Josh, does he? He's side by side with Josh. Oh, contact! Josh is in the wall. There's an end plate gone. That's going to be painful this last lap. Just a bit too close wheel to wheel. Hobo and Mrs. Call have gone. If they can just keep it consistent, we're looking at a comfortable P1 and P2. Shonicus, I would expect, is going to come under some serious fire from Scotty down this final run down the main straight. Josh is going to provide a bit of a rear gunner for these two because he's got this broken rear wing, which will actually help his straight line speed, bizarrely. Matty pushing Stodak along. Softs will be near edge, yeah, you're right. Let's keep an eye on Scott, I think. Here he comes. He's going to launch off this corner. He's just got so much more straight line speed. Shonicus covers it inside, but it's no good. Frenzy's gone round. I'm not going to cut away just yet. He's lost it on the way out of Parabolica. That's dropped him out of the points, down to 13th. Scotty off, gets it done. Shonicus, bit of a dive. Came from a long way back. Hopefully no damage involved. That's going to allow Josh a bit of a run at Shonicus as well. I had a really bad camera angle for that. I couldn't really see how much of a dive it was. He did have to try something. He's got no energy left. Josh on his inside. Gets it done. Yep, bit of a block pass, but gets it done. Shonicus is going to yield his air. Yeah, Spinotto's lost out to Cons. Cons, if he really pushes... he's got penalty, so I'm going to say he might be able to get back to 10th. He's got a penalty. Matt has had a nightmare. Sprito's got past. Mrs. Call 4/10 off Hobo. She's pushing him for it. She's making him work. Scotty in a comfortable third now. Panda trying to chase down Shonicus, but he's just too far back. But in other news, DXT Hobo's going to win his first race for a million years. And he'll be over the moon with that one. Brilliant race from Hobo. Had to restart it a couple of times, did really well. Mrs. Call an amazing second. Scott brings it home in third after his nightmare he had earlier on. Josh fourth after wing damage. Skonicus brings it home in fifth. Again, not an ideal day for him. Won the back foot straight away with his setup. Scarito comes home in sixth after changing to put new softs. Don't know if penalties came in there. Hobo with his very happy first TTFL win. Yeah, it's only taken 7 seasons? 8 seasons? Very well driven. It's about time. He's had plenty of opportunities to capitalise and he's finally done it. As he brings his wheel onto the stage. His Valtteri Bottas wheel for some reason. Well, as a first race commentator on my own, plenty going on. What happened, Marshall? I saw you got damaged, but I didn't quite catch what happened. So, as I said, DXT Hobo brings home the win for the first time ever in TTFL. Mrs. Call with a really well-deserved P2. Great drive. Scotty brings it home in third after a good recovery. Josh in fourth, manages to hold on with front wing damage. Shonicus sort of salvages a fifth. They were always on the back foot. Scarito manages to fly up to sixth after pitting for new softs. Sodak seventh, Panda eighth. Marshall in ninth. Bit disappointed for him after putting in a really strong qualifying. Cons in 10th. He does manage to pick up a point. He'll be pretty pissed off though, considering the fact that he were looking for a podium for a long time. Spinotto in 11th, Matty in 12th, Frenzy in 13th, does pick up the fastest lap, but of course won't get the point for it. And then the non-finishers, we've got MR Camu, Speedy number 25, who binned it out of the lead, Rapid, who got took out of the lead, Curly retired after significant damage and going a lap down, and Hepburn, who got disqualified by again getting impeached. Might have drove me through T1 at 6 o'clock. I made so many mistakes myself. That's unlucky, mate. It's easy to do. It's just as soon as you drop out of that rhythm, you're obviously really in it in qualifying, but you just, I don't know. it's so easy once you drop out of it to just keep making small mistakes. Stood out for a T2 podium after incidents. Possibly, I forgot to take into account what was T1 and T2. So we'll see what comes through afterwards. Yeah, otherwise, really enjoyed that. I hope it wasn't too choppy anywhere at all. I hope it came across alright and I made a good job of commentary. As I say, I will be doing commentary going forward. I would imagine Rob will be back for Tier 1 next week, and I will be taking over Tier 2. Thank you, Rob. I will be taking over comms for Tier 2, hopefully on a full-time basis. Things should be a lot smoother. I'm hoping to have some more stuff once my decent internet is in and I'm not worried about it crashing all the time. Yeah, otherwise, well done to everyone involved. Again, congrats to Hobo. Everyone involved, really exciting to watch. And I'm looking forward to next week.